Today I decided to work on dynamic poses. I would categorize myself as a character artist and designer, yet I mostly draw stiff and static characters, so I really need to address that. I also only stick to upper bodies for the most part, like from the waist up, so doing full body poses like I'm doing here is really important practice. I also decided to theme this page, and I chose figure skating. It's really cool, it's beautiful, there's a lot of nice poses to work with, and the skaters are of course so fluid in their motions, so I think it's just a great reference. And for these references, I literally just looked up Olympic figure skating videos on YouTube. And you know what? I should have screenshotted reference poses from those videos ahead of time, but I didn't, so between each drawing I had to go through a bunch of videos and pick another pose that I liked to use, and I had to edit all of that out when I was editing this video, so don't follow my footsteps, learn and grow from my mistakes, and don't make it hard on yourself. Just have these references ready. I don't know why I would do that. I don't like editing. Anyway. I'm mostly focusing on the proportions, making sure they work out right. I think my legs are a bit long, but it might also be the angle of the camera. I'm not looking at the page right now, I'm just looking at the screen. So it didn't look bad in person. I'm thinking it might be the angle of the camera, but either way, I have to shorten my legs. I'm usually a long leg drawer. That's funny. Anyway, I'm also adding guidelines to the faces and then to the bodies, and then I'm going in and adding the details, which I don't normally do, but I find that every time I do that, it does help with the proportions and how I draw the body, so I recommend doing that as well. Big help. So far, my favorite pose is the first one, even though the second and third one are way more interesting, because I never do poses like that, especially the second one. The second one looks kind of like lumpy, like it just looks like a big lump on top of a stick. Like, I understand the pose. I think I need to work on it some more. Also, is that, maybe it's just because I didn't add any shading or shadowing, but the leg that she has up in the air for that third piece, which you can't see because my arm is covering it. This is great. Anyway, that leg that's up in the air, the knee looks shorter, but I think it was supposed to be because it's pulled back in a circle, so if I just added shading, it would help it a lot more. Ooh, that fourth pose that I just finished drawing, that is my favorite one, for sure. Because there's a lot of different angles going on when her knee, or when her foot hits the ground right there, and then her knee's there, and then you can see the reach, and you can see that reference line I drew from her arm all the way down to her leg that's reaching out. That is the best pose on this page. It is so nice. And then I started working on this more compact pose down here. Oh, that arm's crooked. Good thing I fixed that. I think that she needs more of a calf on the leg that's drawn in. Also, yeah, her arms and leg were just way too long. I'm glad I caught that when I was drawing. Sometimes it takes forever, and then like I completely finish the project, I've like done like the coloring and everything, and then I see it later, and then the appendages are so long, and I'm like, oh my god. But I picked it up. Yeah, it looks better. You can't see it, but it looks better. This pose, the first foot that I draw, it's a bit awkward, but the angle's awkward, so it's not completely straightforward. It's like 3/4 of the way, so it's a bit off, so it looks like I drew the foot wrong, but that's just the angle, and like I was talking about earlier, if I just had some shading or something, probably would have made it look better. Also, her one thigh is the one that's extended, is a bit thicker than the other. I think I just needed to even those out. I don't think I end up doing that, but I think I need to proportionally fix those. This pose that I'm working on now is actually really difficult. It's one where the skater is mid-jump and they're spinning in the air. And I don't know why I was having so much trouble with it. I just completely ended up erasing it. I hated it so much. It just wasn't working out. The pose that I picked instead ended up looking, I guess it's okay. It is definitely a challenging pose. This one is when they're like reaching back, so the angles are really hard to do. Like, it just looks like her leg is off, but it's really just thrown back a bit. And then her arms, of course, up top. The hardest thing to draw when like the arms are in the air is like the shoulders, because they're kind of hidden, but it feels like the arms just coming out of nowhere half the time. I have so much trouble drawing arms going straight up in the air. So this was good practice for that. It's still a bit iffy, but it's way better because I was able to look at a reference, which of course I should be doing from now on forever. If you didn't see my last video, I was saying how I never used to use references when I was younger, and everyone would always tell me, oh, you should use a reference, like, what are you doing? Well, yeah, now I am, which was a good decision. And then I just decided to add some color for fun, which, if you were just here to look at me practice dynamic poses, that's where it ends right there, so. But if you're here to look at my color, I just wanted to add color to it because these poses were annoying me. Even though I was really proud of them. I was really proud of them, but they were annoying, so I just added some color just for fun. I think another thing I should have done in this piece is draw different body types and sizes, which I totally need to practice more on. They all look like they could be the exact same person skating around, so next time I should like do different sizes. Ooh, I should do male figure skaters, which I did not do. I've fallen into the syndrome of being that one person who only draws female body types and just girls, and I'm like, male bodies I find are harder to draw. And I've been working on male faces. I've been working on like sharpening features and trying to differentiate. It's still kind of hard, but it's getting there. Maybe I'll do a video on faces at some point, just so I can practice some more. But in terms of my dynamic pose video that I'm working on now, I feel like it was a success. I very much enjoyed the piece. The green figure skater is definitely my favorite because of the flow of the body. I feel like that body's the most fluid, it looks the most natural, especially the legs. The other ones could do work, but they're definitely way better than I usually do. I also like the blue figure skater at the bottom. She's compact. I need to focus more, well, I need to fix how her calf goes into her thigh, But other than that, I pretty much like it. She doesn't look too hunched over. I think it works out pretty well. I'll also like fix the crease from her elbow or from her armpit, but that one's okay. I think definitely my least favorite is the top right one, the orange one, where you can't see her face or her foot or her hands. So the perception of it is a bit wonky. I feel like I'm not experienced enough to make it readable. Maybe I needed to work on like a simpler dynamic pose before I moved on to that. I mean, it was good practice for sure. But I think I wasn't there yet. It doesn't look right. So we'll see. Maybe I'll redo this page in the future and see if my fluidity in my art has improved at all. That would be a nice comparison, actually. I think I might do that. Well, thank you for watching if you stayed all the way through. Have a good one.